Hi everybody, this is Johnny Reps from Crash Love Gaming, and in this video today I'm going to do something a little bit different than I normally would. I'm going to talk about the state of the game Yu-Gi-Oh! And yes, it is going to be ranty. And then at the end of the video, this is actually going to be a little bit of a hybrid video. I suppose I'll do a little bit of an unboxing of some, actually, ironically, Yu-Gi-Oh! Products I bought today at a store. So anyway, before I get into the video, I just want to say if you like our content, if you like our channel, if you've seen us previously, make sure to leave a like below, but more importantly, also subscribe to us on YouTube. And if you have an idea for a future game you want us to play, or me to play, future topic for a rant you think I should address, leave it down in the comments and we will make sure that we get to you. So anyway, without any further ado, let's get into it. The first thing I want to talk about is kind of the state of current decks in Yu-Gi-Oh! And the one thing that kind of made me shy away from Yu-Gi-Oh! Competitively years ago is the fact that all modern decks, they're the same. I don't care what anybody tells you. They come out with a new theme. All of the support is cookie cutter. Every deck variation that you see in the metagame is almost 99% the same. There might be one or two cards different from deck to deck, but they're pretty much just carbon copies of what people read off of the internet. There's very little uniqueness and variety in Yu-Gi-Oh! And I understand that's going to happen to an effect for most card games, but in Yu-Gi-Oh! It seems to be even more pronounced. And one of the reasons for that is what I will say right now. What essentially happens in Yu-Gi-Oh! If you're not aware, if you don't play Yu-Gi-Oh! Or if you do play Yu-Gi-Oh! You aren't extremely competitive, you may not be aware of it. But if you are competitive, you are very well aware of this. A deck will be released, it'll be the best thing ever, and it will destroy every deck out there, and it'll essentially be the top tier deck. Now this may be one deck, this may be multiple decks at the same time. Essentially what happens is, the deck gets banned on the ban list. If you look at the current ban list or the new ban list, the cards that go on it are actually usually pretty recent releases. Then another deck comes out and the process continues. It's even more broken than the original deck, and so on and so forth. It dominates the metagame, etc. So the problem here is escalation. So essentially deck A is really good, deck B is even better, and then deck C is even better than deck B. So essentially the decks just keep stacking up and getting better and better, so older cards basically become obsolete. That's the first problem. The second problem is new cards continually need to get banned because they essentially, when the deck gets too far out of control, or if a certain deck is so good that they're like, hey, hold on a second, in order to top this, we have to make something like so ridiculously broken. We can't make that. We got to ban these existing cards, then come out with a new deck that's only slightly better than its existing ridiculously broken deck, and then in 6 months, that'll get banned too. And the reason why Konami does this is obvious. They want to make money, and they also hate the secondary market. There's really no support for the secondary market in terms of Konami. I know they have their vendors at their events, but it seems like reselling of the cards, for example, if you buy a card today, they do reprints constantly, and it's a good thing for the average collector and for the average player who just wants to play casually, which is cool. Because honestly, right now, that's me, and that's one of the reasons why I do not competitively play Yu-Gi-Oh! Anymore. Well, it's also that and the fact that I had all my cards stolen a couple of years ago. So this is good for the casual Yu-Gi-Oh! Player. However, it's not very good for the people who want to play tournaments, and it's also not good for people who actually want to collect cards that will gain, maintain value. And the reasoning for this is because with all of the releases and all the banning of cards, first of all, no deck strategy is ever going to be viable long term. Second of all, you need to spend a shit ton of money to remain competitive on Yu-Gi-Oh! And then as soon as that money, or as soon as the metagame changes, which it will, and it always does, those cards are essentially going to be fucking worthless. Sometimes even less than worthless if they get banned and, stuff that's even better comes out. And the reason why this is such an even bigger problem is because the prize support for Yu-Gi-Oh! That's my next point. The prize support for Yu-Gi-Oh! Is absolute, total fucking garbage. Not safe for work. Fucking garbage. Like, okay, I was looking through the prize list, and honestly, I haven't been up to date with what Yu-Gi-Oh! Gives out for prizes at their big tournaments, their YCS tournaments. But holy hell, man, I was surprised at how bad this prize support is. Like, I thought it would have gotten better than in previous years. Back when I played, in like 2009-ish, when I was competitive, 2010, the prize support wasn't that great, but you got like some electronics, you got like boxes of cards, you got like, this other stuff. You got a really expensive prize card. But now I look at the prize support. First of all, the prize card that the people who top get, it's a widely available card. So, I mean, back in the day, it was something like Crush Card, and it was like the only way you can get Crush Card or Doom Caliber Knight is in this tournament by winning it or topping it. Nowadays, it's just like a more expensive version of a card that already exists. So it's fucking pointless. The only thing good about the prize support that's actually gotten better since back in the day is the first place person gets paid accommodation and travel to Yu-Gi-Oh! Worlds, or maybe it was Nationals, I don't remember. Now that's cool. However, that's pretty much where it stops. I mean, they also get like a trophy and a PlayStation 4 and the prize card, which is fucking shit now. That's it. No money, no expensive electronics besides a PS4 and a shitty, I believe it's a shitty Yu-Gi-Oh! Game that comes for it, and that's it. You're spending all this money on your deck if you want to be competitive. Your prize support is total trash, and your deck that you just spent, you know, $700 for is, in 3 months, it's going to be useless. And why I say $700 is actually because I recently looked up the most recent YCS. I believe it was Atlanta, Georgia. It was the most recent YCS in the U.S. And they had deck lists from the top people who topped the tournaments, right? And the average price, just looking at it, of the decks, they all seem to be around $700. But you all know those top decks, within 4 months, 5 months, 6 months tops, they're either going to be banned, you know, essential cards in those decks are going to be banned, or option number 2, an even more broken deck is going to come out, which is actually probably worse. But both options are shit, and both options are done just so Konami can make more money. Which again, I'm not faulting a business for trying. I'm not faulting a business for trying to make money, but I mean, holy hell! At the destruction of your player base, at the at making all of your cards essentially, you know, they're expensive. All of a sudden, oh yeah, deck is broken, and then deck gets banned. Cards are worthless. Wash and repeat. The people who play Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, back when I played, it was kind of like this, but if anything, it has gotten worse. I'm not going to say that the price of the cards has gotten more exuberant. I'm going to say that it's got worse because the turnover in how quickly decks kind of cycle and get to the ban list, and then more new broken decks come out. It's on like a pack-by-pack basis nowadays. The fact that they reduced the timing of the ban list from every 6 months to every, was it now, 3 or 4 months? I hope you're all aware that the only damn reason they did this is so they could continually release more and more broken decks, ban them, and then release another broken deck so they can make more money, sell you another $700 deck, and then move on. So that's really fucking stupid for anybody who wants to play competitively. And I really don't see why anyone would want to. I mean, it's your thing. You can do that if you want. But I don't see why anyone would want to competitively play Yu-Gi-Oh! I like retro cards, and I like sticking to the retro scene. That's why I got my Joey Wheeler deck. If you've seen my previous openings videos, I kind of look at old retro stuff, and I would like, it would be cool if there was actually a kind of a retro metagame in Yu-Gi-Oh! Kind of like there's different formats in Magic, but in Yu-Gi-Oh! All you have is the shitty band format with all these terrible ass decks, and then that are all the same. You want to summon 19 monsters per turn, and then, you know, they're all just competing for whoever can luck draw. They autopilot themselves. There's no skill behind it. There's no strategy, really, because all you got to do is just, you know, I'm not going to say, again, I'm not going to say that any idiot can, like, you know, win a YCS, but when you have these decks, like, someone with those decks is going to win, inevitably, because the vast majority of the players who can afford them are buying them, and they're playing them, and they're, you know, one of the people who buys that deck is going, or one of the top broken decks is going to win, and that's pretty much inevitable. I mean, there's very few exceptions to that rule. And just the fact that, like, it's kind of like, I know what some people might say in the comments is they'll say, oh, well, you know, 5, 6, 7 years ago when you played competitively, it was different. You know, there was only one big deck, and then, you know, there were no other deck really won, and then there were all, nowadays, we have like 3 competitive decks that people can run and top with. And, you know, if you look at the tops, it's like, you know, it's split about 30-30, and then between those 3 big decks, and maybe 10% is rogue decks of people who either got lucky or were just really, really so much better than the other players, they actually were able to outskill them with a little bit of skill that exists. But the problem with that is, back in the day, it was kind of like there was one top deck. It was like, okay, assumed. But you could, if you anti-meted yourself, like in your side deck and your main deck against that top deck, you could take it down. And you also had, there were a variety of rogue options. And I know there's a variety of rogue options nowadays, but the scaled level of power, like back in the day, it was like really strong deck, rogue deck. Rogue deck is just underneath it in terms of strength. And if you tech right, you can take it out. Nowadays, it's like really strong deck is way up here. Rogue deck is like way down here. And then you have like a really strong deck 1, really strong deck 2, really strong deck 3, and then rogue decks way down here. So you essentially have 3 options, and there's no uniqueness in your deck building anymore. If you want to play, you know, like Kanju or whatever the new I don't even know what the new themes are. Whatever the new, if you want to play any of the new themes, like Dick Deck number A or Dick Deck number B, you got to use the same Dick Deck A as the guy who won the last tournament, with the exception of maybe 2 or 3 cards, or else you got no fucking chance. You're not going to win. So trash ass prize support and, you know, continually needing to buy new cards make competing extremely unattractive to anybody when it comes to Yu-Gi-Oh! And another thing that makes, I alluded to it earlier in my, you know, in the beginning of the video, another thing that kind of makes competing very unattractive is theft. Like, the reason why I stopped playing Yu-Gi-Oh! I went to a big tournament, got all my cards stolen. So the value of these cards, it places a lot of immediacy in your deck building. And if you don't have the current expensive cards, you know, you can buy them when they get reprinted in 6 months, but they're just going to get banned anyway. So, you know, you can have a bunch of like mid-tier decks, but you're never going to be top tier unless you got the cash to drop on the top tier deck. And that's just how it is. So it kind of breeds this environment. I'm not saying it's Konami's fault, and I'm not one of those people who goes, oh, everything's society's fault, but kind of breeds this environment where people, you know, prize support is shit. So how are you going to make your money in Yu-Gi-Oh? There's a lot of stealing in Yu-Gi-Oh! Again, I quit Yu-Gi-Oh! Because all my stuff got stolen at a YCS I went to. Actually, it was not a YCS. They were called Shonen Jumps back then. It was the 50th Shonen Jump, Edison, New Jersey, 2010. Look it up. Anyway, so stealing. Fucking a couple months ago, Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania, where I'm from, where I played Yu-Gi-Oh! Locals for years and years and years. Kid got fucking stabbed over Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards. It's just shit. Like the culture of fucking stealing that exists in this game. And again, there's not statistics to back this up because no one's going to do statistics on stealing in Yu-Gi-Oh! Versus stealing in Magic. But if you ask the Yu-Gi-Oh! Player base versus the Magic player base, or even people who play both games, I can guarantee you, Yu-Gi-Oh! Player base sees a lot more theft than the Magic player base. The first regional I ever went to, my brother had his deck stolen. My other friend, Kevin, also had his deck stolen at the same fucking regional. I had all my shit stolen at regional. I know so many people who've had shit stolen from them at Yu-Gi-Oh! Tournaments. I had my fucking credit card stolen from me at a fucking local, okay? And they went to buy Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards on Troll and Toad, but somehow neither the police nor Troll and Toad could track them down because they used like a fake address or something. But that's not the point. The point is, I have been a victim of, and I've seen a shit ton of stealing at Yu-Gi-Oh! Tournaments, and it's widespread and rampant, and it is piss. So, player base, I know you're not watching this video, but, like, if you know people who steal Yu-Gi-Oh! Or, like, we used to have a guy at our locals, and everybody's like, oh, yeah, Phil, yeah, everybody knows Phil steals stuff. Like, Phil, it's like, hi, Phil, I see you tried to steal my cards there, you know, hey. And then, you know, stuff would disappear every once in a while, and people were like, oh, well, we're pretty sure it's Phil, but we don't know for sure. And then it kind of just went along accepted. So I'm just here saying that if you've got any friends or people you know, kind of like Phil, what you should do is you tell Phil to fuck off. You report that motherfucker to the police, or, you know, just get him thrown out of your local. Don't let that shit going on. Talk to that fucker and be like, yo, man, this isn't cool. Stop stealing shit, or, you know, there's going to be problems. That's my opinion on that. And the final point I just want to bring out, the final 2 things I want to bring up, kind of the same point, is kind of the state of online Yu-Gi-Oh! Play, which has 2 things that 2 big points that I want to mention on that. The first being Dueling Network. Dueling Network was awesome. For years after I competitively stopped playing and buying Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards, they were the greatest place in the world to just play against friends. They had all the cards. You know, it wasn't the most refined thing, but if you knew the rules, you could just play the game and have a good time and not have to worry about getting your cards stolen or your money fucking robbed from Konami. You didn't have to worry about getting your cards stolen from the player base or your money stolen by Konami. Anyway, recently, you know, I believe about a year ago, Duel Network got shut down by Konami, pretty much. And Konami, I don't know if it was in response to this or they were doing it anyway. They had this game called Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. Crash Love 37 did a little review of it, and when it initially was in the closed beta, actually, and I did a little bit of an overview of the game. You know, take a look at the features and so on. And like, this game is so damn disappointing. Like, first of all, the rules are not real Yu-Gi-Oh! Rules. The only good thing about the game is the voiceover. You can watch my overview video, and I go through it. You can watch Crash Love 37's review video. But the thing is, this essentially, to sum it up, Duel Links massively disappointing and not even really actual Yu-Gi-Oh! Rules. Card pool so limited, and then they closed down Duel Network. So I have no incentive to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Competitively, really. I have no incentive to continue to stay up to date with the game. And I feel like most of my friends who play Yu-Gi-Oh! Are kind of falling off because they just don't, you know, the current state of the game is shit. You have the continual ban list cycling, the money grubbing, the theft, the lack of online ways to actually play Yu-Gi-Oh! When it's 2017. I could understand like back in like 2005 when like YVD was a thing. But nowadays, I know there's a couple other options available for online play, but they are, let's just say, unreliable at best. In summary, for this fucking rant, I'm pretty much massively disappointed with every damn thing having to do with Yu-Gi-Oh! So, without further ado, that's kind of the end of the rant portion. I'm going to do my unboxing now, and you know what? I'm gonna do the unboxing now, and then I'm gonna do a rant at the end, like a summary angry rant. So, what I got here. We went to this place called Game Shack. It's in Bramalea City Center. That's in Brampton, Ontario, Canada, which is where I currently live. And I got some shit. And I just want to shout out to these guys because they're cool. If you live in Brampton or the area, this place actually has they have a decent selection of all sorts of gaming related things. They don't sponsor me, obviously, but I'm just giving them a shout out. And they got some old games and more stuff like that than a lot of stores around here do, so they're cool. So anyway, first thing I got is Duelist Kingdom Joey Wheeler mat. Don't worry, the second thing's a lot more interesting. This was $19.99 Canadian, so don't laugh at me if you're American and you're like, I paid $10 or something. So let's take a look at this beautiful mat. Whoa. Smells like tires. It's a cool mat. I'm going to use this to play my... I actually might go to a locals next week. I'll go to a locals and I'll use this to play my Joey Wheeler deck at the fucking local. Although I can't because I actually work on Thursdays now. But there might be other locals around. Can't stop smelling this. It actually doesn't smell good. It smells weird. But cool. Yeah, as Red Eyes Black Dragon, there's Joey Wheeler with his fisting. And he's got the dual disc. And there's Time Wizard. Time Roulette! So that's not very interesting. But anyway, the second thing that I got, which actually is interesting, is Superman 64 socks. I'm just kidding. Those were actually half off. That's why I got them on clearance. That's not the... No, what I'm seriously, what I actually got... Where is it? Crash Bandicoot The Huge Adventure for Game Boy Advance. Alright, that has nothing to do with Yu-Gi-Oh! I did get that, though. What I'm actually talking about, the actual unboxing that we're doing right here, is I bought a Premium Gold Infinite Gold, which is a really repetitive name, by the way. And it was $20, and according to the back of this pack and what I've read online, it is a... basically, it's a re-release of stuff, and it has some new cards in it that are from premium packs in Japan. On the back here, it says it has 40 gold secrets that are either brand new card or an existing card that's never had the gold treatment, including the fan favorite Cosmo cards. Cool. 60 of the top cards now released using gold rare technology for the very first time, including Burning Abyss and previous Yu-Gi-Oh! Championship Series prize cards. Yeah. Okay. So there's 3 packs, and each pack has 3 gold rares and 2 secrets. So there's only 15 cards in here. 9 gold rares and 6 secrets in total per box. So yeah, I'm paying more than $1 per card here, so this better be good. Let's see. I actually might use this to store cards when I'm done with it. I know it's not like... I left a lot... When I moved to Canada, I left tins back at home, so... Let's see how this goes. Alright. Look at that. Nice little 5 cards per pack. This is not going to be good to store cards in. When I bought this, Juliet's like... she's like, that's a really fucking big box for 15 cards. And I'm like, I agree. It's kind of like Yu-Gi-Oh! A lot of fucking hubbub for nothing. Anyway. There we go, our repetitively named pack. I kind of bought this because I read there's hole cards in here, like Trap Hole. Interesting fact, I never bought a gold series before, ever. Let's see. You guys tell me in the comments if these cards are good, because I don't know what's good nowadays. Number 11, Big Eye. I think I remember people running that at one of the tournaments I went to not too long ago. Void Trap Hole. Ooh. When you're... Well, hold on. Let me just read these cards. This Big Eye says it's too long. Void Trap Hole. When your opponent special summons a monster with 2,000 or more attack, negate the effects of one of those monsters with 2,000 or more attack, and if you do, destroy it. When you special summons. Or negate the effects of one of those monsters. Okay, that's nice. Cool. Cool, cool. And number 11, Big Eye, is 2 level 7 monsters. It's an XYZ. Once per turn, you can detach one XYZ material card from this card. Target once your opponent controls, take control of that monster. This card cannot attack the turn you activate this effect. Alright, whatever. And I got Radiant Mirror Force, which is that one. If they have 3 monsters and attack, it destroys all of them. Magical King Moonstar. Don't know what that is, and it's too long to read. I don't care. And then Graph, Male Branch of the Burning Abyss. No idea. I don't know about this rant. I might be in a good humor, too good of a humor from looking at these pretty cards to rant after this. Let's go to pack number 2. Let's see. Apprentice Magician. I remember that card. No, Arcanite Magician. That's what it is. Arcanite Magician. Sorry, I remember that card too. Time Space Trapple. Another whole card. Excellent. When your opponent special summons monsters from the extra deck or hand, shuffle that monsters into the deck, then lose 1,000 life points for each monster you return. Cool. Storming Mirror Force. What's this? When an opponent's monster declares an attack, return all attack position monsters your opponent controls to the hand. Cool. Number 35, Ravenous Tarantula. Is there one more card? Yeah. Farva. Farfa. Male Branch of the Burning Abyss. I was like, Farva? I want a large Farva. Last pack. Let's go for it. I really don't know what I'm hoping to get out of here, but Constellar Pladeus. I don't know what that is. Cosmo Dog Fighter. Dog is all caps. So it's like Dog Fighter. Spell Shattering Arrow. Are you kidding me? Alright, whatever. Number 38. Hope Harbinger Dragon Titanic Galaxy. Cool. Long, pointless name. And Dante Pilgrim of the Burning Abyss. That's a good one, Pilgrim. Alright, fuck this pack. Pretty cards. They might be worth something. I don't care. Anyway, time to rant about Yu-Gi-Oh! Alright. So, we know about the current state of the metagame. All the decks are the fucking same. Every goddamn deck is played by some douchebag who spent their mom's money on it, and then as soon as they get old enough where their mom is like, hey, you're cut off, or they have to work their own job and they're at McDonald's, and they're only making minimum wage, they're not going to be able to spend $700 every 3 months on a new deck. So, that's when the player base drops off. And that's why all my friends don't play Yu-Gi-Oh! Anymore, and that's probably why I don't play Yu-Gi-Oh! Either, because even though I never had mom's money, the game is more expensive nowadays, so fuck that. Fuck paying money for shit. I want to play my Yu-Gi-Oh! Online. I want to have fun and play Dual Network, but I can't because they shut it down, which is another retarded shit that Konami's doing. In addition to making this shit game, Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, I don't want to play Duel Links because it doesn't. The only thing good about it is voiceover, and I can do a Joey Wheeler voice pretty damn good myself. That was actually a really bad version of it. I'm out of practice, sorry. But fuck this game in the modern context of tournaments. Fuck the cheating Steelers who stole my fucking credit card and stole my damn deck and all the cards I owned years ago. Fuck them. I hope you all die, and I'm not kidding about that. So, in short, Yu-Gi-Oh! In its current state, it needs to change. Something needs to happen, but it's not going to. So this rant is pointless. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to us. And Stone Mountain 64 may flex at you until you fucking collab with us. Good one.